What does that look like to you? Is the bear? Is the guy? Seems more game warden thing to me. Well, it's illegal, Burton. I know that.
Bear! Yeah! Bear fucker! Do you need assistance?
So Sony decides after 2 weeks of hemming and hawing that they're going to finally reverse course and backpedal on the whole Steam players need a PSN account to log in and play their Steam copies of Helldivers 2, which was a stupid decision anyway. And I myself tried to get a refund on mine, not because I was, protesting or anything. Part of it was the travel internet on the road sucks. It's terrible. It's not good. So I tried to refund mine, and despite being put out there on Steam that you could still even now get refunds, yeah, that was a load of shit. But see, I have a theory. That Sony pushed this through because they knew it was going to cause an issue. They knew it was going to be a big press day and it was going to take the attention off of the Stellar Blade stuff. Sony is an absolute dumpster fire right now between trying to burn 2 studios with stupid decisions and sales being down for the year. Now they're just choosing to completely ignore the customers over the whole censorship thing and just act like it's not going on. And most folks don't remember that Sony's been censoring stuff since the 90s. The only thing that's really changed with Sony is the group of people that they're censoring it for. The original Resident Evil on PS1 was about the biggest example of this that I could bring up. There was so many things cut out of the North American release of this game that, you're not going to notice it unless you had like EGM or GamePro or something back in the day that told you what you were missing. And they'd snitch on them every time back then because that was way back when they would actually tell you stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, they were still selling, in it to sell the games and stuff for the companies, but they were at least honest with their reviews to an extent. But most of the gore, there was a scene, I think, with Chris Redfield smoking a cigarette in the opening cast draw that they edited out. Because there was so many parents groups back in the old days, that and like church ladies raising hell over Mortal Kombat starting out. They jumped in and started. That was when the ESRB shit started, and they started editing the hell out of everything. And a lot of us got tricked back in the old days because we bought Resident Evil when it first came out, and then they were advertising Resident Evil Director's Cut, uncensored, uncut, with all this new stuff in it, and we didn't get jacked. It was a lie. We got gaslit. And one of the things I couldn't find was the character select screen in Japan, which had Jill labeled as easy and Chris labeled as hard mode. And people now would flip about that. One of the big differences between back then and now was that back in the 90s, the church ladies and the people in the parents group were not going to work at Sony to try to influence what was being taken out of the games or what was being put into the games. Most of it was they would just go complain to Congress. Some senator or congressman would get up on their high horse. Oh, we're going to censor video games. We're going to do regulation. And then they scream for about, 2 months, and then they'd be quiet. Something might get censored, something might not. That was back then. Now, the people that want your stuff censored are doing, they're going to work for the developers. They're going to work for Sony, and they're changing stuff from the inside. That's 1,000 times worse than what we used to have to deal with back in the old days.
Well, isn't that special?
We now live in an era where you can play a game where you can have gay bear sex, but they'll censor cleavage on a digital woman. Like, I put that as the beginning of the video. Like, that wasn't even the full thing. Like, there's some graphic stuff in there. That's okay, but side boob on a video game character isn't. I'm to the point where I'm ready to transition over to PC, like, permanently. Because if they remove something, you can mod it back in. They won't release something that came out forever ago, won't re-release it. You could just emulate it. And, you know, some people are like, that's piracy. Well, put it out and make it affordable then. You know, everybody ain't got like $100 to go blow skull monkeys on eBay. I mean, I did, but I mean, normal people, they don't have that kind of money to go blow on old games on eBay. But I think that's going to get it for this one, man. I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.